Right, good evening, everybody. Welcome along to another edition of the United View. It is, of course, episode 5, and you could be joining the debate while our guys here on the panel discuss everything from the Everton game, DeGea, Falcao, the midfield, Park Ji-sung, and midweek friendlies. All you've got to do to get involved is by tweeting at the United View, or you can post in the comment box on the YouTube just there and get involved with fellow Reds. I am Urban Pierce from at the Reds United. Joining us on the show today, the panelists who we love to hear from, the brilliant Shaun. How are you doing, mate?
Very well, thank you. Been looking forward to this all afternoon. Seems like ages ago that we played.
Well, we're back on now. Of course, another regular panelist actually has just run, hopped, jumped, and done a few stepovers in between from his work with Goal. Tom, thank you for rushing on.
No worries, thanks for having me again.
No problem at all, mate. And today's special guest, he's got quite a following on Twitter, and he's not scared of giving out an opinion either. Lee, thank you for joining us, mate.
Glad to be here. Not going to lie, I've been quite anxious all afternoon about coming on, but seems like Shaun said, seems like ages ago we played, but
It's all good because we've got positive things to talk about, which doesn't always happen, believe it or not, being United fans. We've got loads to talk about today, and we'll start off, shall we, with that Everton game. Now, Shaun, it doesn't start too badly, does it? Talk us through the start of the game, going up to the first couple of goals as well. What did you make of it?
I thought we were very positive, like we have been the last few games. First half, we always seem quite positive, quite organised, retained the ball well. Everton really didn't offer anything at all for the whole half. I don't think they registered a shot on target. I'm not sure if a penalty counts as a shot on target. I assume it does, but and until that moment, Everton offered absolutely nothing. There was so much space in the middle. Blind was absolutely running the show in the middle. Yeah, and then the second half we were just unorganised again.
Unorganised. I actually thought that the game changed in the second half, and I think watching the game, it kind of seemed that the game changed because Daley Blind was not in it, really. Lee, what do you think? I mean, let's come to you. We were controlling it because Daley Blind was pulling the strings, right? And then suddenly in the second half, I didn't think he was pulling the strings, so there was no control. What do we need to do to get that balance? Is he just merely getting into his stride, do you reckon?
it's happened the last couple of games, the second half, where we haven't really got into the game in the second half. We just tried to dominate the first half and hope it'll pull us through. For me, Blind he's a quality player in the way he pulls the strings in the midfield, as you've said, is superb. But for me, to be one of our best midfielders, or our best midfielder, he needs to be able to do that throughout the full 90 minutes, not just the first half.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But of course, today we were treated to another Di Maria goal and Falcao's first. Was it at the Stretford end as well, Tom? You're muted, Tom. You've muted yourself, mate. Press that button. Come on, we want to hear your voice.
I can't actually remember.
No, it was at the other end.
Great finish though, and Di is making a bit of a speciality of that strange cross shot, and it's nice to see we've got a forward that can anticipate anything at the moment. It's nice to see Falcao finally off the mark.
It is, isn't it? I mean, it's just great to have him scoring goals for Manchester United. And not only that, Tom, I love his work ethic.
I agree. His work ethic was fantastic. I was saying that during the game. There was a point, I think, about 70 minutes in or so, when he was tracking back at right back, and he's not gonna ever be the best tackler in the world, and he's too far gone, in his career. But he does have an absolutely superb work ethic, and that really helped, given the fact that Rooney was missing today, I think.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. Shaun, over to you. I mean, the new boys, Blind, Falcao, Di Maria, they really are putting shifts in for the side, aren't they?
Absolutely. Someone asked me after the game whether we missed Rooney today, and I don't think we did. I liked the energy that Van Persie had today. Now, if he gained that energy because he had the captain's armband on, that was fantastic. I mean, he always comes back and defends corners, free kicks, but in general play, he's always the furthest man forward. But today, Falcao was, and Van Persie was. All right, he gave away a silly foul, got booked in the first half, but he was chasing the ball down a bit like Rooney does. But I really liked seeing that energy today. It was really refreshing.
And I don't know about you. Sorry to butt in. It was a little green as he led the team out when he had the captain's armband on. He's just about to walk the team out the tunnel. He just looked really proud, Shaun.
I actually tweeted. Van Persie looked so proud to be captain of the team today.
Yeah.
And he did. He obviously found it was a huge honour to do it.
It should be. If you're a captain of Manchester United, you should be proud on it. It doesn't matter if who you're at. Captain of Manchester United, you should be proud.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. Hello to Akonfem1, who's sent us a tweet saying, I think we lose a kind of concentration a bit in the second half. We've been pretty bad in the seconds, but our forwards should hold on to the ball a bit more. Also, I think there's also cases where the midfield's at parts where we've got a lead. They just pump the ball. They don't think about keeping the ball. They just think about getting it out. So we're 2-0 up. We're 1-0 up. It's get pulled back to 1-0 and obviously goes 2-1. 2 great goals. Well done, Di Maria, Falcao. But I just want to quickly have a word about the defending. We all said at the end of last week's show, Tom, that Everton were going to be a threat. They've got Naismith, they've got Lukaku. But I don't know about you. McNair marked Lukaku out of the game today, and Rojo was like a warrior at the back for us.
He was. Those two, they're starting to form a really good partnership at the back. I really liked McNair today. There was one point when Lukaku lost him quite easily, and McNair was guilty of ball watching, but he tracked back well to force Lukaku to shoot over. And the size difference wasn't that pronounced. He marshaled the game really well, and Rojo was battling as well. Tyler Blackett, when he came on as well, was throwing himself in the way of everything. So it's great to see a solid defensive display from United when we haven't exactly been treated to that over the last 18 months or so.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree with you. And then talking about the defensive display, Lee, one word from you, David De Gea today.
Oh, David De Gea, what? I want whatever he had before that game because he wasn't human today.
I did say one word, but we'll have all those instead.
One sentence.
Shaun, one word, David De Gea today.
It needs more than one word. After the game, Peter Schmeichel came out and he said how well De Gea done today, and to get praise from someone like Peter Schmeichel, he must have had a bloody good game.
Yeah, no, he was just outstanding, wasn't he, Lee? I mean, first of all, the penalty save, you could say it's quite close to him, but then he has to go the right way. He'd done his homework, and I think it was the shot from Osman for me was my favourite save. Yeah, I like the one from I think it's the Osvaldo strike towards the end, or Osiedo, or whatever it's called. But it was the Leon Osman save for me. The way he just dived out and he got one strong hand to palm that away. I mean, he's exceptional, isn't he?
Yeah. Just going back to the penalty save, the shot might have been close to him, but he still had to get down low, and it was struck well and hard. To get down that low and that fast and get a strong hand on it like that, to get it away from goal, not just back into the box. It's one of the saves of the game for me as well, the penalty one.
Yeah, he was great. And I mean, one other thing about that penalty, was it a penalty, Lee?
I've watched the replay hundreds of times. I'm still not sure, to be honest, because some angles looks like he gets the ball, and then some angles it looks like he knocks the ball forward and he just gets wiped out. So for me, I'm still 50-50, even though I've had the replays. So it must be a tough job for the refs.
Shaun, was it a penalty?
First time I viewed it, yes, it was. Now I've seen replays after, and the possibility he got his studs on the ball. But like I said, first time I saw it, same as the referee, it was a penalty.
Tom, you're right. You've probably put a few refs under criticism, spoken about a few penalty decisions and so on this season. Was that a penalty?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, like Shaun says, I think on first glance it was a definite penalty, but the replay show he might have got studs on it. But it was clear that Hibbert was going to beat him to the ball, to the first touch. And Shaw was going to commit himself. So as soon as he'd done that, then the referee was really left with no alternative. It was, a bit of a lazy tackle towards the end of the half, I think.
I think it was the only decision the ref got 100% correct today. I think it was a penalty. I think he didn't reach that ball. And I think also on Luke Shaw, by the way, I thought he had a terrific game today. It's a shame he has to go off injured. I honestly think that guy, fair enough, we might have paid 28 to 30 million for him. But Lee, we're going to get a good 10, 12 years out of him, aren't we? That's a bargain.
Definitely. He's young. For me, his passion for football, not just for Manchester United, for football, will make him go far. He strives for the best out of himself, really, because his attack and work rate, not just his defensive. He's always up the pitch. He's back when he needs to be. He's not scared to run with the ball at players, and he should have set Falco up today as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just moving back, by the way, you're talking about Shaw, talking about young players. Hello to @TGP73, who's made a bold statement on Twitter, Shaun. McNair is the new Pallister.
Wow. He's young. He's got a bed in, but yeah, I think he's the future for our defence. I know we can. Yeah. Everybody keeps saying, let's go out and buy these world-class defenders. But if we go out and buy these world-class defenders that are going to be in the defence for 3 or 4 years, how do these young guys come through? He's been given a chance last week, thrown in at the deep end at the very last minute, with no first-team experience whatsoever, anywhere, at any level, apart from under-21, which you watch their games, there's not anything like what he played last week, and he was given a chance again this week. I think he spent the full week training with the first team. He would have settled in a little bit more. He wouldn't have obviously been nervous with it. It's a bit like Blackett as well. Obviously, he was unfortunate to get the sending off, which obviously meant he had to drop out of the team. He might struggle to get back in as centre back. He might struggle to obviously get in ahead of Luke Shaw as well.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. And hello to Kenneth, who says he's admiring that Tyler Blackett block still right at the last minute of the game. Swaggett says McNair was great against Lukaku. Great to see all of you discussing this, by the way, in the YouTube box. Also, hello to everyone giving DeGea a lot of love as well. A lot of people turning around saying how good he was today. He said, Swaggett says DeGea made some very crucial save. And Youssef says DeGea is an alien. There we go. You heard it here first. He's a Spanish alien. Even is anything. Right, let's move on then, shall we? Let's talk about our midfield. We've focused on our defence a lot recently. We've had countless number of chats, but for me, come back from the international break, everyone's fit. McNair's been playing great. I would still keep him in the side. Keep Jones on the bench. Make sure he knows what he's battling with, because Roko, for me, is also playing brilliantly in the centre there. My concern is the midfield at the moment. I don't know about you guys. Fair enough, the defence is concerned. But I was looking at the midfield today, and as I said earlier on, I thought Blind was in the game for 45 minutes and kind of faded out. I saw Antonio Valencia playing in the centre of midfield, and for me, he was just playing it square most of the time. He wasn't looking for that space and trying to get into it, or he's looking for Raphael. He needs to be a bit more aggressive. Di Maria, for me, is the only solid midfielder we have in there. I think he's perfect. Mata, of course, great behind the strikers, or Rooney. But then, who have we got? Carrick's coming back from injury. Where does he fit in? Fellaini just ran around the pitch like a Trojan horse today. I don't know where he fits in. Tom, you're looking at this United team. Would you be tempted to stick Carrick in there with Daley Blind as a starting lineup, or what do we do? Of course, we've still got Fletcher and Januzaj in there as well.
Yeah, we've got a lot of options. I mean, sort of at all various stages of fitness. And midfield was obviously, a huge problem last season. But I think with the signing of Blind and also Herrera, I think we're pretty much set barring an injury crisis, which is exactly what we've got at the moment. So we might see one more addition in January or possibly next summer. But once Carrick comes back, I think he could perform a good holding role with Blind, especially given our young defence. And we need someone reliable to screen that defence at the moment and give the youngsters time to bed in. But I think once Herrera comes back, we'll be pretty much set, because he's running the midfield so far. It's just unfortunate he's got an injury at the time when United have started to look good again.
Yeah, and can I just quickly say, I asked your opinions earlier on Twitter at the United View. You can continue joining the debate or post in the comment box. Shaun, we'll come to you. Rumours of Strootman. What will he bring to our midfield which we don't have already? And if he comes into the team, who would he replace?
No idea. I've told you about this before, Ben. I don't watch these foreign leagues. I have no idea.
All right, then let's ignore Shaun. Tom, let's come back to you.
Sure. Yeah, I've written about Struman before. I mean, he got a bad knee injury in March that's obviously kept him out until now. And he's a fantastic box-to-box presence for Roma. And Van Gaal's obviously really interested in him. He's worked with him for the Netherlands side. He loves working with him. And Roma have put like a 60 million, 65 million price tag on him. So it's going to take a lot to tease him away. But I wouldn't be surprised if Van Gaal made a move for him in January, if our injury crisis keeps coming like this. He just offers like a great box-to-box presence. He can score goals, he can tackle, he can pass. Just a great all-rounder, sort of similar to Roy Keane, I'd say.
Wow, that's a statement. If he's like Roy Keane, I'd have him for 65 million. If he's not, I wouldn't. Hello to Adam Cardew, who says, drop a striker like Robin Van Persie. Put two holding midfielders in there. They'll be more effective against harder opposition. Hello to Parkinson Dean, who says Blind should keep his place. I think he's been great. Carrick will struggle to get back in the team. Sheik agrees, keep Blind. He's got more legs than Carrick. TGP73 says Blind and Herrera are the way forward. Also, let's move up here and have a look at this tweet. We did have another one, but I just can't find it. Hello to Ibrahim, who says Herrera can't be kept out of the side. Lee, do you agree with that?
Yeah, Herrera and Blind, for me, the way they've been playing, well, when Herrera's back from injury, should I say, I don't think Carrick will get straight back into the team. I think Van Gaal, with them two, if they can both learn to focus for the full game, not just for the first 45 minutes, Carrick will have a job getting back into that team. And talking back to Strootman, is he worth 65 million if he's got an ACL injury in his knee? It's a lot of money for what could be an injury-prone player.
Yeah, it's every transfer is a gamble now, though, isn't it? As we all know when we come back to Fellaini in a minute. Hello to Matt Saunders, who says, I think we should see more of a 4-3-3 with Carrick, Blind and Herrera in there. Everyone knows that Louis van Gaal is a 4-3-3 manager. To be honest, though, I think this diamond formation really suits us at the moment. I wouldn't really want to see us change formations a lot. I think we're settled with this at the moment. Shaun, we've mentioned all these great players, but there's one player who we haven't mentioned, and that's Marouane Fellaini. Where does he fit in?
Marouane Fellaini. Yeah, fantastic. He doesn't fit in. The best place he can go is wherever David Moyes gets a new job, probably at Newcastle the next time Pardew loses a game.
I've had a tweet from the Ginger Prince again, who says Fellaini could be useful if played in position, but I expect him to be loaned in January. Tom, is there any point in loaning him? We might as well just get rid of him if we're looking for him to go, surely.
Yeah, I mean, it'd obviously be lovely if someone would come in and pay us the 27.5 million that we paid him and going abroad in the summer. But even then, there was apparently not much interest in teams paying even 10 million for him. So he's going to be difficult to shift for any, sort of real fee. So a loan move might suit him. I still think he's got a job as a squad player. I mean, I actually thought an interesting move from Van Gaal today would have been to, you'll probably laugh, but to sub Mata and put on Fellaini for the last few minutes, because Mata struggled quite a lot. I felt he was giving the ball away towards the end of the game, and it would have helped to have Fellaini's presence up in attacking midfield, which is what he was signed for. So.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I have actually got to agree with that. I think he's so much better when the ball's getting pumped up to him than he is having the ball pumped towards him. And I also think that his best game for us, I'll say again, was when he played 2 minutes against Olympiacos in the Champions League at the end of last season. Exactly. And he just won every ball in the air, and he came back and defended a few corners. He's just not a central defensive midfielder. No. Magnus Helly says, I think he can still do a job, but he fails to impact the team. A loan could be the answer in January. He's great when he's used in FIFA 15. Yeah.
There we go.
Donut 5000 says, sell the donkey. He's not a United player. Hello to Gerard Doyle, who says, I'm sorry, but I honestly believe Fellaini is struggling in our midfield. He must try harder. To be honest, I think the sad thing is he can't try harder. I just don't think he's good enough for the team, unfortunately. It's true though. Don't you agree, Lee? I mean, is he good? Is he a Man United player?
In the position, sorry, in the position he's been played, he's not, because he hasn't really been given the opportunity at an attacking midfield to prove himself. But does he deserve that chance with the performances he's put in playing defensive midfielder? He's just one of them players you can't help but laugh at.
Massive hello to Swagger. That's a player we just can't help to laugh at. What's the last player we laughed at? Anderson. He's still here. Let's face it. Right, let's end with Swagger, who says Fellaini fits in the bin. There we go. End of. Let's move on. Shaun, an interesting stat today from Sky Sports. This is the first time in over a year that we're in the top 4.
Moyes that.
I asked Twitter earlier on, what should we be aiming for realistically? Looking at the table now, I know it doesn't really matter till Christmas. Looking at the table, should we be looking at second? Should we be looking at third? Or should we just settle for fourth? I asked Twitter. I'm going to read out some responses. I'm going to come to you for yours in a minute, guys. So have a think. We'll start off with a few sensible ones, shall we? Hello to Kabir, who says third is a realistic option. Hello to Jake, who says third in the FA Cup. They're getting better. Hello to Alex, who says I'll settle for fourth this year and then push on next year. Hello to Shimmy, who must have been on a drink this afternoon after the win. We could win the league, mate. Just stay in touch and see what happens. Hello to Abdullah, who says I think if we can get a win against Chelsea and City, we'll have a chance of winning the league. Yeah, but then let's lose away to Leicester. Hello to Connor, who says third is very realistic target for this season. Liverpool not as strong as they were last season. Arsenal will fade away and end fourth. Hello to Quinsto, who says we have to be happy with the Champions League spot. Hello to Mohammed, who does say the table means nothing till Christmas. Let's discuss this topic then. Hello to Docker, who just says first. And Simon says defo third and try and put pressure on the top 2. I think we can do that. Hello to Adam, who says honestly don't care as long as it's top 4. Anything above that's a bonus. Hello to Tilly, who says why should we be pushing for anything other than the title? If we're in the mix to challenge, then why settle for other? To be honest, Shaun, our mindset should be that, shouldn't it? Let's go for first place. Doesn't matter how out of reach it is. We're going to win every game. Every game's a winnable game. We're Man United.
I heard him say earlier on that this season we can play a maximum of 45 games if we get to the final of the FA Cup. There is no reason why we should not be trying to win every single game, and until it is mathematically impossible to win the league, we should be aiming to win that league.
Yeah?
I think under Van Gaal, it will.
I mean, is it realistic? Is it realistic to say, look, we can challenge Chelsea for the title, Shaun?
I watched Chelsea today against Arsenal, and this is the Arsenal that we're going to rip Chelsea apart apparently after their midweek game against Galatasaray. Not a chance. I think Chelsea are going to run away with it. But if we're going out, if Van Gaal is not going to sit there in a changing room and say, "Well, they've already won the league, so let's not even bother. Let's just aim for second." He's not going to do that. And to be quite honest, if I was a player in that changing room and he said that to me, I'd question his ambition.
He's not a manager, is he, Lee, to turn around and say, look, let's go for second?
No, but if so, therefore we're going first, whether it's realistic or not.
Yeah, do you agree with that, Lee? He's not someone who would turn around and say, look, let's just settle for second.
No. We've got to get this now. Van Gaal's not David Moyes. He won't aspire to try and be any other team. He will want to be first with Manchester United at all costs. If, as Shaun said, if it's still mathematically possible for us to get first in the league, I think Van Gaal will go for it. He seems that type of man in his interviews with his past jobs with the Holland squad. He always strives for success. So
anything's possible, I suppose. Tom, Champions League is a must this season, right? But how does second place sound to you?
Second place obviously sounds great at the moment, considering the start we've made. I mean, compared to Arsenal and Liverpool, we've actually made a pretty decent start so far. Although we haven't really been properly tested, by the top side. So it'd be more interesting to see what happens when we have to go to the likes of Chelsea, City, Liverpool, Arsenal. You know, we haven't really had a tough game so far, but it's going well. And now I would take top 4, but Ed Woodward said to investors that top 3, is the target this season. So I think 3rd place finish would be great right now.
Shaun, Tom, you are a regular panelist, so sorry, Lee, I'm going to leave you out of this one just for a second.
It's fine. It's fine. I understand.
We've got the mindset of doing this after every United game, every Sunday until the end of the season. So I think it's about time that we kind of put our opinions out there and see how we do come the end of the season. So, Shaun, I want to know where you think we're going to finish, and I want to know who you think our top goal scorer is going to be come the end of the season.
Ramadal Falcao will be our
Falcao
top scorer at the end of the season.
And where
we'll
are we
all
going to finish?
be strong, and we will be winning the league.
Tom?
That's confident for you.
Sorry, mate.
I think
we lost you a second there. Can you repeat that?
I'm going to go with my head on this one, and I think Chelsea and City will have a little too much, particularly in the away games. I think they'll finish 1st and 2nd, but I don't really see much from Liverpool and Arsenal at the moment to suggest that United can't take 3rd place. So I'll go for them. And also, I think, actually, funny enough, with all the 4s we've got, I think Di Maria might sneak the top scorer award. I mean, he only got 4 last season, but he's got 3 already. He's not afraid to shoot from anywhere, and he carries on getting. If he carries on getting forward like he is, he's going to open up defences all the time. And I see Falcao, Van Persie, and Rooney being rotated, so I don't necessarily see any of them hitting, say, 25, 30 goals a season. They might all take 15 goals a season or so.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. I think Angel Di Maria is going to do great, but I am going to go for Falcao now. I just think there's no way he won't start every game. I think he's going to be our main striker from now on. So I'm going to go Falcao top goal scorer, and I would settle for 4th, but I am kind of in the group which says 3rd. I don't see why we can't get 3rd this season. So I've gone 3rd Falcao, Shaun's gone 1st Falcao, and Tom's gone 3rd Di Maria. There we go. We'll log them. We'll see how we do come the end of the season. There we go. There's our little fantasy football bets worth no money at all. Right. Let's move on then and talk a little bit about Park Ji-sung. Lee, it's great seeing him at Old Trafford today, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like the way he's with Fergie again, back in the stadium.
It's great to see them on the pitch, and of course Park Ji-sung, Shaun's taken on the ambassador role. Is this us finally realising his attributes and what he'd done for Manchester United? Because all of us fans have always said he was our go-to guy. Or is it just for some publicity in Japan?
I'd like to think it's a bit of both, but like we said before, Woodward's good with his sponsors and such like. And I don't know, when we lost Kagawa, we lost a lot of fans that followed United because of Kagawa. Now, I'm not saying that we necessarily want them as fans of our club because they like one player, but that Asian market is a huge market to be in, and we weren't in it once we'd lost Kagawa. So I think it's a really good stroke, really good thing to have done to get him, and I think he'd be absolutely fantastic at the job.
Yeah, Tom, do you agree with that? And quickly, a quick note on seeing Sir Alex Ferguson before the start of the game. Do you think it's right that he should be paraded before a game? Do you not think that's a little bit pressure on the gaffer?
I think it was pressure last season when the results weren't coming in and the cameras kept cutting to him in the stands every game. I think that was, for all the bad decisions that Moyes made, I think that was one aspect. So maybe Ferguson could have perhaps, stood back and maybe said, I won't go to games for a month or so. He's got every right to, as a fan, as a legend of the club, really. But I think that could have helped. But I don't see, someone with Van Gaal's personality really being bothered by Ferguson being there. Van Gaal's his own man, so the results are coming in, and now's the time, I think, to have Ferguson back.
And can I just quickly say it's great to see Sir Bobby Charlton as well after his health scare during the week at the game, cheering on the Reds as he always does.
Yeah, definitely.
Hello to at MUFC since birth, who says a realistic finish is third or fourth. With another good window, we can challenge next season. Top goal scorer for him, Wayne Rooney. There we go. He's joined him. Lee, what do you reckon?
Top goal scorer.
Yeah.
Falcao. I've got to agree with you and Shaun. It's got to be Falcao. His record is insane, and for me, as you said, I can't see Falcao getting dropped. If he's only on loan for the season and he's got the option to sign at the end of it, I don't see him dropping him for any of the games if that's going to keep him happy at United.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. Now, let's move on to the final topic of the evening then. Look at my hair. I look like Marouane Fellaini tonight. I don't know what's going on. Let's move on then to... we always find one topic which we just have to discuss, which might be a little bit comical in parts, but is also serious because it's Manchester United news. Midweek friendlies have been a massive talking point seeing as we've got European football. They are meant to bring in revenue. We're thinking about going to Qatar already. We're thinking about going and opening stadiums, playing Olympic venues to sell out tickets in different countries. Shaun, midweek friendlies, you for or against?
I can see the point in it. Obviously, not being in the Champions League has cost a lot of money. We haven't got a massive squad. We had a good clear out in the summer. We didn't clear enough out. We've still got Fellaini. But I touched on it just now. That we can play a maximum of 45 games this season if we get to the final of the FA Cup. If we get knocked out in the third round, I mean, you can almost guarantee it. We want an FA Cup run, and we'll come up against Chelsea or City or Arsenal in the third round. If we get knocked out, then I think midweek friendlies. Okay, let's not go across the other side of the bloody world, though. Look at Everton today. It was clear at times in that game that they struggled because they were in Russia on Thursday night.
Yeah.
If we're going out to Qatar and wherever else you've really well said, out back and beyond wherever, it's just going to be exhausting on the players. All right, we've got some players, squad players that we can use, but I don't know if we can get a cup run going. I don't think it is necessary to do it without a cup run. Yes, but maybe not quite as far as field.
Tom, surely the best time to have done these lucrative midweek friendlies would have been now, not after January.
I'm pretty sure Van Gaal actually said in the summer to Woodward that he was, completely opposed to any form of friendlies before Christmas because he needed time, he needed a while to teach his players. That's what he's, said time and again in the press conferences, that he's not necessarily training the players on the pitch, but he's training their minds. And this is the crucial time for that, to take hold, and we're beginning to see the fruits of it. We've won 3 on the bounce, but Van Gaal has already said he'll be more open to friendlies later in the year. And I think with careful management of the fixture list, given that we don't have, a lot of games being rearranged, we know who our opponents are going to be, without the threat of Champions League football mixing that up. So I'd say go for it abroad, for the money, for potentially games where, say, we're playing at Old Trafford at the weekend and we're against opponents that we're expected to beat. I wouldn't like us to be travelling, say, abroad to Qatar if we've then got a tricky away trip that we could lose points and that could cost us Champions League. And that's got to be, the overriding, that's got to be the deal breaker. If it's going to cost us a top 4 place, then we've got to, not do it.
Yeah, no, Lee, surely if it's you're setting it in stone, you've got a big sponsor behind it, you're going to get some money, big stadiums, sell out crowds, it looks great in the press, and you get unlimited amount of substitutes and you can take a massive squad with you. Surely you can turn up, play your first team for 20 minutes, make then 11 substitutes, and then it will all be good for the weekend's game.
You can, but if you're going to go all the way to Qatar, you will get some fans who will probably follow them there, and the fans in Qatar, if that's where they're going, they're not going to want to pay the loads of money, however much the tickets may be, to watch the first team for 15-20 minutes to watch them get subbed off. Maybe watch a youth squad or the second squad or our reserve team. But for me, if, as Shaun said, if we get knocked out of the cup early, go for it, but not quite as far. Somewhere Spain, France, just in Europe, because it's a lot of travelling to be doing during the week when you've got a game coming on the weekend. It's just too much.
No.
Like, fair enough, there's money involved in it, but as Tom says, well, I'd rather be in the top 4 next season than a couple of extra quid.
Yeah, no, that is true. We can take a little hit. Surely the Glazers have got enough money to help fund it.
Would they, though? Would they go in the pocket?
That was kind of a joke.
All right.
Right, let's move on. Let's move on to let's go back quickly. I want to end on this point. Carrick will be back hopefully from his injury after the international break. We've missed him. He is of course our English man in the middle of that part. We love him. Hello to Shintan, who says Carrick should be brought in around the 70th minute if we are leading and we want to protect the lead, because Herrera always provides more creativity than Carrick. Yeah, surely, guys. We've just come to you quickly, Shaun. Surely, if we're in the same position and Carrick is fit, we can bring on Carrick, stick Carrick in front of the back four. Again, Valencia and Di Maria can go a little bit wider, and then you've got the 2 strikers. Surely that will just firm things up.
Yeah, it would do. I rate Carrick a lot. He's had his criticism over the years, but I think 2 seasons ago he really showed us what he could do. Last season, like most of the players, seem to go backwards. He's obviously getting on a bit now as well. He's in his last year of his contract. I'd like to see him playing, but not starting games. I don't think he's got the pace to start games, unless we play with a 4-4-2 where we've got 2 sitting midfielders behind, in front of the defence. I don't see where he fits in.
And I've got to say, sorry, Shaun. I've got to say, he's better quality than Fletcher. Than Fellaini, than Anderson, than these players who are going to come off the bench and try and play that role with Blind at the moment, isn't he?
Are we even considering Anderson to be any part of the first team? I'm shocked. I am shocked.
Wow. I've seen worse today on the pitch. Lee,
I've got to say, going on today's game, when I thought Valencia had a pretty good game, there was a couple of crosses that could have ended up in the car park if they didn't have deflections, to be fair. But when Fellaini came on for Valencia, the midfield just went.
Yeah.
Midfield buckled. And I thought Valencia had a pretty good game. I just wanted him to stay in midfield and let Raphael do the run. Raphael had a fantastic game again today.
He just seems to be going from strength to strength, Raphael. 1 minute he's looking a little bit dodgy, but for me, he was hard done by at Leicester. The game before that, he played really well. For me, he's on a great run of form. Anyway, that's it. We've done all our talking points. We've smiled throughout. We've had a Man United win. Shaun's not had a rant. Tom's working. And Lee has been a great guest as well. Lee, where can we find out? You do little blogs and stuff as well, don't you? Is it Let's Talk MUFC?
Yeah, it is. YouTube.com/Let's Talk MUFC.
Go and check out Lee. Lee, thank you for coming on the show today, mate. I hope you've had fun.
I have. Might not have got a couple of jokes.
Don't worry, no one gets my jokes, not even my mum, my girlfriend, or anyone in my family. Thank you for coming on, mate. We'll hopefully get you on one time soon. Tom, thank you for rushing from the PSG Monaco game. What was the score in the end?
It was 1-1, another PSG draw. So
1-1. God.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, some scorelines like that, Dortmund aren't doing too well at the moment, are they? And Ronaldo's having a shocker in La Liga at the moment.
Yep. Maybe we can pinch Hummels next summer.
Yeah, and Ronaldo, seeing as he's on such bad form. Tom, thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, thanks for having me again.
And Shaun, thank you once again, mate. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no problem. Just wanted to say we haven't had a phrase of the week, and it has to go to you, Ben, for your tweet earlier this afternoon. Angel of Manchester.
Yeah, Angel of Manchester. It's got to be, hasn't it? We've got to have that up somewhere. At Shaun MUFC20, at Tom J Doyle. You can check them out on at the United View. We will be back sooner than you think. It's the international break, but we're going to do a United preview of it's the West Brom game next. We're going to do a preview of that the Wednesday before. Hopefully Tom and Shaun will be on for that again, and maybe even another special guest. We might even get Liam Mark back on to come and have a chat with us. Anyway, thank you for hanging around. Thank you for watching. We got a win, but now we must go and watch England again. Yeah, that's a shame. Anyway.
Well, at least Rooney gets to play at some point in October.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he's not on a beach in Barbados, to be fair, with Colleen. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for coming on. Thank you very much for watching at the United View. Make sure you subscribe. We'll be back very, very soon with the United preview. And then on the Sunday after the West Brom game, we'll have the United View back on. Have a great few weeks. We'll see you again soon. Thank you very much.